I'm waiting at the airport and I need to know if I fucked up. This week, my daughter, who is in middle school, lost a classmate. She has not taken it well, and overall, this is her first experience with someone she knows dying. The entire class was excused from school today, and the funeral is happening right now. Unfortunately, I could not be there. I tried, but my PTO was denied, and we cannot afford for me to lose this job. I flew out on Wednesday night, and I'm heading back now. Our daughter is a mess. She was friends with the girl who passed away. The plan was for my wife, who is currently unemployed, to take her to the funeral mass and be there to support her. My wife is more spiritual than the average person and hates anything involving the dead. Funerals, viewings, and similar events make her extremely uncomfortable. She believes in ghosts and avoids funerals like the plague. We discussed everything on Wednesday, and she said she would take our daughter and stay through the graveside service as well. Then I got a call from my daughter, sobbing because she wasn't going to the funeral. My wife was refusing to take her. When I finally got my wife to answer my calls, she told me she couldn't do it because she was scared to go. I immediately called my mom and asked if she could pick up my daughter and take her to the funeral. My mom left work and took her. They are there now. Afterward, my wife called me crying because my mom had torn her a new one. From what I understand, my mom called her a bad parent and told her it was completely fucked up that she couldn't take our daughter to a classmate's funeral. Now, my wife wants me to make my mom apologize. I told her that my mom was right. I said this was something our daughter needed and that she fucked up. I told her she wasn't acting like a parent because she was letting her fear of the dead come before our daughter's needs. All she had to do was stay through the mass. That led to a huge argument over the phone, and now she is calling me a huge dick. Apparently, my mom is getting angry texts as well. I told my mom not to let our daughter know that we are fighting and asked if she could look after her for the rest of the day. She agreed. So now I'm sitting in an airport wondering if I handled this wrong.
I, 25F, recently married my husband, 25M, in Bali, Indonesia in January. It was a destination wedding. My parents and his parents paid for their own plane tickets and hotels, but we paid for our friends' plane tickets and hotel stays. Each plane ticket cost about 2,000 US dollars, and the hotel rooms were around $150 to $300 for the week. My friend Gemma brought along her newlywed husband, John, but paid for his plane ticket herself. The problem is that Gemma and John never showed up to my wedding. Gemma took the free plane ticket to Bali and stayed in the hotel room we paid for. When I asked her why she didn't attend the wedding, she told me that since they couldn't afford their own honeymoon, this was the perfect opportunity. She also said that John decided he didn't feel like going. I was really hurt by this, since Gemma and I have been friends for over 10 years. WIBTA if I took her to small claims court for the money I spent on her plane ticket and hotel. Update. Per multiple comments advising me to invoice Gemma for the plane ticket and hotel room, I decided to do something even better. I wanted proof in case I had to take her to court, so I messaged her. Hey, sorry for being so distant, but I wanted to talk to you about Bali. I'm hurt that you didn't show up to the ceremony. I pulled a lot of strings to make sure you could come, and then you didn't even attend. Did you really think I paid for this trip just so you could honeymoon with John? She replied, I've missed you a lot, and I know the trip was for your wedding. But John didn't want to go because he felt like your wedding ruined the illusion of the trip being our honeymoon, and I thought you'd understand. I replied, No, I don't understand. You took advantage of me, and that's not what real friends do. I'm sending you an invoice for $2,387.53 to cover the cost of the plane ticket and hotel room. I'll give you 30 days to pay it. After that, I'll be taking legal action. I never received a response, but she started posting subliminal quotes on Instagram about entitled friends and having snakes in your life. Thank you all for your verdicts and advice. Update Part 2. I didn't think this situation could get worse, but here we are. I ignored all of the passive-aggressive social media posts and stayed quiet while I got my ducks in a row for litigation. Then last Friday, she sent me a 3-page audit of her financial and emotional contributions to our friendship from 2015 to the present. I wish I was fucking joking. The audit included every lunch and dinner we'd ever had together, estimated at $18 per meal. Gas money for driving to and from hangouts. a birthday gift from 2017 that she now claims put her into debt. Time spent emotionally supporting me after my dad passed away. She claims she acted as a grief counselor, even though I talked to her on the phone about it once for maybe 30 minutes. The time she helped me move apartments, she wanted compensation for her labor. Emotional distress caused by me threatening litigation. Her grand total, $2,412.09. Conveniently, that's within about $25 of what I invoiced her for. She then informed me that if we're really keeping score, I actually owe her $24.56. I think I stared at that document in complete silence for 10 minutes because the audacity was unbelievable. This bitch is absolutely delusional. To clarify, I never asked her to cook for me. While I was in college, she paid for some lunches, but I more than returned the favor after I graduated. I've bought her plenty of gifts over the years, let her stay at my house multiple times when she and John were fighting, and been there for her emotionally during difficult periods of her life. Apparently, friendship is billable now. I simply reacted to the message with a thumbs up, because if I responded with words, I would have been extremely disrespectful given how angry I was. I could not wait for those 30 days to be over because I was ready to sue the fuck out of her. Final update. Sorry I haven't updated in a while. I've been getting everything prepared before moving forward. While doing that, I was looking through photos from Bali and ended up on the Instagram page of a local photographer who had taken pictures of my husband and me during a sailing excursion. As I was scrolling through their page, I spotted a very familiar face. It was Gemma, and a man. But it wasn't John. It was a man I had never seen before. There were multiple photos, one of them sitting together with drinks, another with his arm wrapped around her, and one of them kissing. That's when everything clicked. My wedding was the day after everyone arrived, which is why I never saw her at all. Not at the hotel, not around town, nowhere. I assumed she was simply lying low to avoid confronting me, but she didn't skip my wedding because John didn't feel like going, or because my wedding ruined the illusion of their honeymoon. She skipped my wedding because she wasn't there with John. She was there with another man. After seeing the photo of her and her affair partner, I decided to do some detective work. I went to her Instagram page and started looking through her followers and following list, hoping to find the guy. Nothing. Then I checked her likes and comments to see if I could find anyone who looked remotely similar. Nope. At that point, I felt defeated until I remembered that Gemma had a small pottery Instagram account. And boom, I found him. Let's call him Ryan. Ryan had several photos from Bali posted on his account. He even had a picture of himself inside the hotel room that I paid for. I was beyond pissed. At that point, I just wanted my money back and to be done with Gemma forever. On the day of our court date, I told my side of the story, showed the judge the text messages, and explained that I paid for her trip so she could attend my wedding, and that she never showed up. Gemma claimed that the trip was a gift for her marriage and wasn't contingent on attending the wedding. I didn't even have to bring up the fact that she hadn't brought John. The judge didn't buy her story. I was awarded the full amount. Gemma walked out of the courtroom without even looking at me. I know she was pissed. And, as expected, she immediately went to Instagram. This time, though, she didn't hold back. She started posting stories about me, calling me a bitch, saying that's why I can't have kids, posting photos of me and calling me fat, and saying she'd go spit on my dead grandmother's grave. Just absolutely diabolical mean girl shit. The last time she brought our drama to social media, I ignored it. But not this time. I know what I did next was stooping to her level, but honestly, I didn't care. I posted the photo of her kissing Ryan to my story and tagged both her and John. The caption simply said, "Sorry we missed you in Bali. Hope you had fun." Within minutes, she started blowing up my phone. Calls, texts, voicemails, nonstop screaming. Before I blocked her on everything, I sent one final message. I said, "You should have just come to the wedding."
Context: I won approximately £4 million earlier this year from the lotto. Currently, the money is diversified into several index funds. I was planning on giving them £750,000 as a thank you, but when I mentioned that as a counter offer, they got mad and started calling me selfish. I'm 19M, my parents are 49M and 47F. Without going into too much detail and making this longer than necessary, I only waited around a week before I told my parents. They were excited, and so was I. It was all going fine until they started talking about the money as if it was theirs. They were talking about retiring, going on holiday, buying a boat and new car, traveling the world, etc. I asked them how much they expected to have. Stone cold face, they say half. I understand that with giving half, having £2 million left is already enough, but why should they be entitled to that? I know they're my parents and we've had a great relationship. To me, £750,000 seems like it's enough as they already have their own savings and a paid off mortgage. So, am I the asshole for refusing to give my parents half of my winnings? Eat it. I posted this and went to sleep, didn't expect it to blow up the way it did. I want to thank everyone for giving me advice and some insight on the situation. I'll do my best to reply to any DMs I've got as well as the comments. To clear something up, I saw a few people talking about tax. Since I live in the UK, lottery winnings are not taxed, so I got the full amount. I may have not clarified this in the post, but my parents did not accept the £750,000 and insisted the original amount, £2 million. This argument has been going back and forth for some time now, but a lot of the comments I read mentioned I should lower my offer instead of just letting them try to control me. I've thought about what I can do, and they're still my parents, so I still do want to give them a portion of my winnings, despite the fact they felt entitled to half. And for the reason why I told them instead of keeping it a secret, I'm young and I was excited, so I only saw it as a positive thing.